Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So starting this time with wiring, but not for the layout, but for the layout. So I've got my transformers mounted, and you can see I've got the drops in. I've still got a clip excess line on that. I've got little dabs of super glue, and I'll cut those after the super glue dries up pretty good. Over here, I've got this transformer in. Same thing, I've got excess cabling that I need to trim. I've got that run down there. I'll add a little bit more super glue right at the top just to make that a little kind of a ball right at the top of that pipe. Hold it on. So I'll just let everything sit for a while, let the glue sit, and then come in with a sharp pair of cutters and trim it. And then over here, I'm gonna get some doweling that I've got that's a little bit smaller than this dowel, and make a couple of them that are shorter. So I can put one in right about there, and then one just off the corner of this building over on this side. So from there, then I'll be able to run a drop coming down to this one. I'll have a little arm, and then down to the pump. Can come from over here, come across to here, and then I'm just going to have the cable go down the pole, because you can't see the pole from the operator's pit. You would have to really kind of get your head over and stretch, and I'm just going to show the line kind of running down the pole and have it close to the building. Good enough, since the building is removable. I don't want to do anything that attaches the line to the building. But that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just going to let everything sit, and not sure if I'm going to do a whole lot more tonight. Might just get the dowels and get them stained up a little bit and put one crossbuck on it. Just something similar to this, but much smaller, since I'm only running one cable across. Anyhow, we'll see how that looks. So more coming. All right, got this one done. You can see my jumper going down to the transformer, line coming up from the bottom, going down to the shed. Added a little bit more super glue just on the nubby, make it look like a little nubby connector there on the top of the conduit going in. So that's good. I've got my main drops in and wires trimmed going to the transformers. Kind of hard to see here, just with everything, it's dark. There we go. So anyway, I'm going to come back in. I've been looking at pictures, so I'm going to yoke the two leftmost transformers together, and then have a drop from that going down underneath, and then this one will just be a single coming across to the shed, where this one will represent a couple of lines coming down. I'm going to put a pole right about here, so right in that little groove will be an upright, and then from there the line will drop down, because the connector box on the pump is right there, so I'll have the line come down there. Temporary line. When the building gets built, they'll add permanent electrical to it, but that should work. So I'm hoping to get that done yet Sunday afternoon, because this week I will be traveling out to Phoenix for work and not get a lot done. Sunday afternoon, and I have my two short little power poles done. Just a piece of dowel and just some scrap wood that I stained. Make it look like a little crossbuck there, or half a crossbuck. I'm gonna drill some holes and put those on the layout. I will not run the power lines until I get back from my work trip. So that'll be next weekend. So I will get these put in place, do a little shot of that, and then there's going to be a sizable time gap between that shot and the next one. Both of those are in place. Quick little drill into the base and set them in. Got to do a little bit of groundwork around that one, but that's easy enough. So kind of see. And I did take a straight edge, and I can go from the center of this to the transformers, and it will come close to the water tank, but it will not touch the water tank. So, you know what, that's still, you still see that. And then likewise, this one is straight shot up there, and then I'll take it down the pole over here. I got clearance for the trains on all of that, so yep, I'm happy with it. Next things that I will do with this will be this coming weekend. So we'll have a little gap here between this video and the next one. One more little snippet on a Sunday night before I wrap it up. I went and looked at some of my N-scale power poles that I had, you know, old-time stuff. And I found that the N-scale poles that had some lights on them, the lights actually looked pretty good as insulators in O-scale. So I snipped a couple of them off and just glued them on to the cross buck there with super glue. I will come back in when I get back home and paint them up a little bit of a greenish blue color. And then I can run my line. So you can see I got it on that one too, but it doesn't come in very clear. Short, sweet, and those look really realistic. If I did a lot more poles, I would probably be buying a whole bunch of those on eBay. Little bit of paint on those N-scale street lights, and they look like pretty convincing little insulators on top of those poles. So that worked out pretty well. Like how that looks. And that's just a little bit of bright green and bright blue acrylics mixed together to kind of give me that sort of a turquoise green color, which is somewhat typical on old insulators. Well, it's almost been a week since that last clip. I spent the week in Phoenix, Arizona for work. Got to visit one hobby shop just on the day that I flew back to Richmond. So Obie's in Apache Junction. If you're out in Phoenix, you definitely want to stop in there. Really nice hobby shop. It's about the size of a garage. He's got a lot of stuff in there. If you're looking for a Kato unit track, he's got a really good selection of that in there. 3-rail fast track for O-scalers. He's got a lot of that, a lot of N-scale. He's got quite a bit of Z-scale detail pieces and small structures too. I was really impressed with that. I bought a little bit of HO scale stuff, not a whole lot, so I won't show it here. A couple of cars and a few little details. It just didn't have room in my suitcase. But I have been working again on the layout. So what you see is basically, it's completed. Except for, you know, painting and small details and that tunnel liner. But this scene over here is essentially done. All major components are in place. So yesterday, after I rested up from my flights, I came in and I've got my wires strung. Got the one going down, attaching to the box on the pump. In my world, that's temporary as they're building up the pump house around it. Of course, they'll rewire it. Got my wire drop coming off there and down in here. And I used a little bit of super glue on the line just to kind of get it to hold its shape. So it's just bumped up against the building. So I can take the building off and the line is not attached, but it looks like it is unless you get really close. So those have been run back up to the transformers. I still might come in and then do a drop from each of these down, you know, to make it look like the electrical connections. But I need to find some prototype poles that are doing that. So I get a sense of exactly how it should look. That would be a later detail add. So over here, you know, same thing. I haven't really done a whole lot different. Oh, I did add a guy wire in here for support that came with the kit. I ended up drilling a real small hole into the pole so that a little piece could go in and then super glued it. The bottom is just sitting there. It's got a little hook on it too, and it actually is kind of bit into the scenery already, so it's fine. So that's it. The Appalachian and White Lightning Railroad is mostly complete. So what I'm going to do is I will take my modules apart and get my painting done and get that taken care of this week. Tunnel liner on the other side I'll still get to, and that will wrap up all major things on this layout build. So upcoming videos, I'm going to be running this, and I'll do a walkthrough. Kind of talk about things that I like, things that I would have done different, and just have the trains running as I'm talking. So I think that is going to wrap this one up. It seems like it's a logical break. I'll get some other stuff done this week and get another video started. So with that, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.